everyone. Welcome to the Joyful Podcast. I'm Kriti.
And I'm Jay, and today we'll be talking about how marriages have changed from our parents' generation to our generation. Okay, so first things first, what do you think are the top 3 changes we have observed in the marriages of our parents' generation and our generation?
I think being a woman, I can say that earlier, like in my mom's generation or even before that, with my grandmother and all, they were more sacrificial. They were expected to do a lot for the family and like ignore their needs. In today's generation, women are becoming more, particular about their own needs as well. They put them first, which they are not used to doing. They are not used to seeing their mothers doing that.
That's
So
true.
this is a big change that I've noticed, that women of today actually know their value. They value their time, they value their efforts. They want other people to also appreciate that and not just, be a slave, just working day and night and just catering to everyone else and just ignoring their own selves. So this is one change I think that I've noticed being a woman, because I've seen my mother and my grandmother and all the ladies from that generation usually being at home, cooking, cleaning, managing the household, teaching kids, doing all the things at home, which I think in today's generation people feel should be a shared responsibility, that the men should also contribute. And second would be that in our generation, younger people want to know their partner well enough before committing to them for marriage, because earlier they used to meet probably through their families, and like it was usually an arranged marriage setup. Even without seeing each other, they used to get married. I think this is another major shift, that people are taking this seriously because it's a lifetime commitment. So they want to know if me and you vibe together, if we align, if our goals align, our vision for the future aligns or not. That is where they take time to know each other, to learn about maybe each other's history, emotional baggages, and so much more. So I think that's another important change, and it was a much needed one. And I think the third change would be that in today's generation, the younger couple wants more privacy and less interference from their family, so that they can live freely, which earlier was not the case, because usually people were living in joint family setups, or at least had their parents, grandparents around. So, and it was a good thing. It's good to have a family sort of environment. But I think now, since the times have changed, they want to dress up according to their comfort. They want to go out and party, and maybe like even go out at night, which is somewhat frowned upon by the elderly people. That is one thing, that people are moving more towards living separately and then maybe meeting their families occasionally. So I think that is one big drastic change that is coming in our generation. Not all of them, of course, but I can notice the shift.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
need for independence, that need for freedom to do whatever they want, to be whoever they want. Because with families, there are restrictions. They tell you to not do certain things. And today, people value freedom more, I think.
Good points.
Thanks. And what do you think today's marriages are lacking, which was present earlier? Something good that was somewhat a nice thing about older generations, the way they carried partnerships. Do you think there are certain things that now the younger people have forgotten, which is something useful for them?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that comes to my mind is patience, because people give more chances to their partner, and in good ways, I'm saying. Of course, you should not, cross the limits, and you should not become that you're just tolerating shit from your partner and just not realizing what you're worth of, what you deserve in a relationship and from your partner. But also today you have access to more people, like you are able to travel easily, you are able to talk to people easily because of all this technology and internet. So that's why people think that, oh, I can get somebody better. And you can, of course you can, but people also have become very impatient with their current partners. So you need to find the right balance, right? Like take advantage of the technology, that you can meet new people. So don't be too depressed if you are, coming out of a breakup. Also give chances to your partner, and not like, just run away the first time, you hit a wall.
There is a problem.
Yeah, that's one. I think secondly, doing more simple things to connect with each other. In today's generation, I think the definition of connecting with each other and hanging out is just going to restaurants to eat and party. Again, not saying if there's anything wrong with it, but there are more, like for example, we are sitting at the beach, not doing anything, right? You can just sit and talk and just, swim in the ocean communication. There are so many simple things you can do to connect with each other, and which kind of makes your bond and connection better. Going out to a restaurant, there's no problem with that. We still have good conversations when we go out to eat. Okay, let me put it this way. The more distractions you have around you, the shallower your connection will be. Try to connect with each other with less distraction as possible. I think
Like our
that's better.
parents used to do, they would just sit and have tea in the morning.
Yeah,
And in the
exactly. Those
evening
things are like amazing.
and talk about their day.
Yeah, again, have the right balance. So, like, you can go out to party, you can go out to have a meal at a restaurant, but do these things as well. What we have done is we have shifted from those things and jumped to these things. So now our relationships are lacking depth.
And we think these things are very outdated.
Yeah.
And
know,
I
but-
don't think that we have to erase our histories because they are important. They bring a lot of good things with them as well.
Yeah.
So we can let go of the things that were not serving us,
Yeah.
but we can still carry forward the things that are right and appreciate them and do them more.
Yeah, I think the best part about looking at the history is that you can always take out the good parts, take out the learning, and leave the rest.
Yeah.
You always have a choice.
And one more thing, I feel that earlier marriages were a bit imbalanced. Now it's more of a partnership, or at least that's what is expected, right? So, what do you think about that?
Earlier, women didn't used to work a lot, and in the sense, like, I mean,
Go
these
out
jobs
and
and
work,
businesses,
yeah.
right? And now more women have started doing that, and it's amazing. That's why the marriages right now, they look more of, like you said, partnerships. I'm not saying earlier it wasn't like that. Like, if you could share that healthy bond, that, if the man is the provider for the family and the woman is taking care of the household, and both are happy with that arrangement, it's amazing.
And have respect for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that's the right balance of masculine and feminine. But we are seeing so many changes in so many areas in the world. So we have to stop resisting everything. We have to start adapting and accepting this new era.
Dynamic.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's okay if a woman, wants to work, and, like, of course, I like highly encourage that, because women, they do need to be independent and,
yeah.
like, self-sufficient. It's really good.
Right.
But also, again, because it's still new to all of us, right? So sometimes we go into this new territory that, it
We
becomes
become
a little...
hyper independent.
Yeah, exactly. Now she says, I don't need my man, and, like, he doesn't know what to do, because for him also all this...
Change is
Yeah.
new. Yeah.
It's all new. I'm happy about it, but yeah, we need to find that right balance, and we need to maybe, discover it in a new way. We need to
Right.
talk to more people, maybe, talk to more counselors and psychologists, coaches, understand this in, more depth.
Why
Yeah.
this is important?
Yeah.
Because we are also not used to seeing that in our
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
With our parents, with our grandparents, it was a different kind of dynamic. Again, it will take some time for you to learn these things and to unlearn those things.
Definitely.
Because it kind of shakes you up. You feel like I was taught a completely different course, and then what you say, the exam is of a completely different subject.
So, like, also we work together, we make money together, we run our house together, and we thought that it is good, and it is good. But lately we've been realizing that, maybe we need to tweak things a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to, balance it all out. And yeah,
Right.
you can, of course, you can always reinvent your relationship. You can always reinvent your dynamics. It's good. As long as you are always trying to become better. Since we are already talking about the differences between, the marriages of our parents' generation and our generation, what do you think all our parents need to know and understand about the marriages of our generation, especially in joint family arrangements, or where at least, like, the couple is living with the parents of one partner, then comes the clashes or interference, fights, and, arguments.
So basically, you want to know how they can still live in a joint family but have a better...
Either you are living with the family or not, but I still see a lot of friction between the two, generations.
yeah.
More on the opinions of, they keep trying to tell the younger
Enforce
people,
that.
yeah, that this is how you have to run your marriage. This is how you have to run your marriage. And of course, you might be saying some nice things, but somewhere, you need to learn.
They need to learn about us to
Exactly.
understand us better.
Yeah.
So maybe there will be some parents watching this. I hope there are. So I think being a younger generation advocate, I will say that we we just want our parents to treat us as adults, because this is one major problem area, because they feel that no matter how old the child is, even if in their 30s, they try to tell him or her what to do, what not to do. Let them make their own mistakes, let them find their own things, what they like, what they don't like, what they want to do or not do. Don't enforce your opinions on an adult. You might feel that they are a child, but they are not. So this is one key area where younger generation feel disrespected or not valued as a person, as an individual, where parents need to be flexible and need to open their mind to this idea that the child is no more a child. That's why they are getting married. They are an adult.
I would just like to add a point to this. If they are old enough to be attracted to somebody, if they are old enough to fall in love with somebody, if they are old enough to get married, then they are old enough to run that relationship in an adult way. You are looking at this completely wrong. You know, you are looking at your mistakes you made when you were 30, 25-year-old. You are looking at the mistakes you are doing currently at 55, 60, 70-year-old, right? Yeah, they might do that, but they also might not do that. And you need to give that room to them, that I'm here to listen to your problem, I'm here to guide you, but I'm not going to impose you. I'm just going to let you do your thing and figure it out. And I think, like, in most cases, you can see the repercussions or the consequences of your actions on a short term. You don't have to wait 30 years to see the consequences of your actions. If I'm doing something right now and 3 months later we are not happy about it, we can still change it. The problem is that people don't do that. To the parents, the problem is not with you. It's not like that you are not saying enough to your kids that, you know, please wake up. They're just not doing it. It's their mistake. So let them realize it on their own and let them correct it on their own. You cannot go out and save your kids all the time. Not just in marriage, I'm saying generally in life. Give them that room and actually provide them the safe space so that they can come to you with their problems, with their issues, and they can talk to you about it. The thing is that when you become too nosy in somebody's life, you think that you are trying to help them, but you are just pushing them away. So even if they have an issue they want to talk to you about, but now they're like, let me not do that because
let me figure it out.
Yeah, because they're just not going to be helpful anymore. And another point I wanted to mention is that every marriage is different. I know it's a very common thing we hear, but we forget it. So parents, just remember that every marriage is different. If you see your kids or anybody for that matter, if they're just happy, but they have a very different relationship, it's just completely out of your understanding that we have never done that.
How are they living like that?
Yeah, exactly. We have never done that. How are you doing that? You should not be doing that. You're going to regret this
later.
Right? Yeah. Because this is not in our books. It's okay. If they actually, both of them are happy, if they're able to manage it, it's okay if they, you know, hit a rough patch, it's fine. It comes in every relationship, in friendships as well. But if they're happy, just let them be.
Yeah.
Stop interfering, stop trying to redefine their relationship just from your perspective. It's not going to work.
Because this creates more problems.
Yeah, exactly.
They are anyways happy in their setup, whatever it is. And if you find flaws in that system, then you are creating disturbance for your children.
You're trying to put doubts in their heads. Yeah. It's not healthy.
Last thing I would say, it's mostly because our Indian culture has always been patriarchal, right? Where men are favored more in some ways. For example, when a girl gets married, she goes to the guy's family to live and all that. So even if you're living with their families, the guy's family's role to like accept and love her and try to, you know, bond with her, because this is what was missing in earlier generations as well.
Yeah.
Where I've seen like maybe my grandmother not warming up to my mother, and even my father's sisters not warming up to my mother, which sort of again created issues because she was left alone, she was isolated, she was not treated well. So if you want to have a good relationship with your son, this is for the parents, then you should have a good relationship with the daughter-in-law as well, so that both people together as a unit can be a part of your family.
For sure.
Because this is very important. I feel this was missing earlier, and I hope like in today's generation the parents are becoming more warmer and less stricter. All these problems usually start with a lot of expectations from a girl or her side of a family to be in a certain way, that this is how you should behave, this is how you should, you know, dress up, you are supposed to be doing this at this time. So don't put on so many limitations, boundaries on a new person that are just trying to maybe get to know you, trying to become a part of a strange new environment. If you want a healthy relationship with them, I think that's about it.
Good point. Okay, I think we can wrap it up now. Yeah. Good discussion, I would say. We can talk a lot more about this
Yeah,
topic.
this
but
was
that's
very
for-
impromptu.
Yeah,
We just
another
wanted
day.
to come and sit in front of the camera and just
Yeah.
speak our hearts out.
Correct.
So,
So we would love to know, what do you think are the differences between our parents' marriage and the marriages of our generation? And secondly, do suggest more topics for podcasts if you want to. We are always eager to hear them, because we are just getting started with this and we do have a long list of topics. But yeah, any suggestion is more than welcome.
Definitely.
And yeah, I think good day,
thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We hope you found it useful.
and we'll see you in another one. Take care. Bye.